Welcome to episode 295 of KT Confidential, the real estate podcast. Adrian and I are talking about homeowners' biggest regrets with upgrades that they've done throughout the home. Enjoy.
So today we were talking, last week we talked about upgrades that people were super excited that they did them. They were thrilled. They thought they were a great investment. Things ranging from
Rave reviews
from $20 upgrades to $20,000 upgrades. And if you're considering doing anything to your home, it might be a good place to start with that, to get some ideas of what other people have been really thrilled about doing. And then come back here once you finish that and listen to what people regret doing.
That's what we're talking about today.
That's what we're talking about today. So there are 16 items. I haven't read through them all, but there's a list of 16 items.
I haven't seen this list, so let's go.
So this is on BuzzFeed, okay? And we'll start with number one. How about that? So this person says, we had to renovate our basement due to a leak, and we decided to rip out our old carpet and put down luxury vinyl plank flooring. We decided to pick out a trendy gray that everyone was using. Thought it was a good choice to lighten up the dark basement, but within a year, I hated it. The flooring itself was fine and worked well for a busy family, but the gray was hard to decorate around and looked cheap and tacky. So
I don't agree that it would be hard to decorate with.
Well, it could be if the way to decorate it doesn't align with their style. Like, it sounds like maybe
their style, or if they're trying to just use furniture that they had with their carpet.
Well, and that's probably the problem.
But I will say that now everybody wants the natural look floors, the lighter natural wood looking type of flooring.
Yeah, I would agree. But I think the key there with this is, no matter what you're doing, get the professional's opinion. Like, don't just, like they said, they chose the trendy light gray because that's what was popular. Well, that doesn't always last.
Get an interior designer. If your contractor that's doing the work for you doesn't have contacts for that, which most of them do, hop onto Instagram and just search interior designer and look for some in your area. Well, they'll do a consultation.
I'll put a link in this podcast about so Sarah Bergsma, a close friend and client of ours, and also a great local business owner. She's a designer by trade, and they own a great little retail store selling accessories, furniture, and paint. She wrote a blog us, and lighting. She wrote a blog for us.
Window coverings.
She wrote a blog for us that we'll be posting very soon. We're actually going to her house on Tuesday to shoot a couple photographs to go in the blog. And she has some excellent tips on how to make decisions that are timeless and that do stick around, and how to avoid the short-lived styles like this person is suffering from. Okay, next one.
You know what I like about Sarah, because she helped us in our design, and we haven't released, nobody's really seen our new office yet. No. You're getting a sneak peek of the kitchenette here.
Yes.
And coming soon, you'll get a sneak peek, or the full peek, of our podcast studio.
The full peek. I like peek.
That. But she helped in the consultation part of things when we were designing this space.
Yeah.
And you and I have very different tastes, and she was a great mediator and great to complement what we both wanted to get out of. Although you did kind of give us a lot of free reign. I was very surprised.
I think it's important too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll hold that in my back pocket for when I need to use that.
You already did with the fire.
That's another podcast.
Yeah, we should do a podcast on that.
Yeah.
How Adrian almost
this
blew
person
blew
keeps
up
phoning you
office.
And me back and forth. Okay, number 2. My husband insisted in putting a bar in our basement when we remodeled it. I can probably count the amount of times we've used it on one hand.
Very few people use actual bar areas in their basement. They think it's a good idea.
Right. Now,
if you have the space, if you've got a 5,000 square foot home and your basement's 2,500 square feet, go nuts.
Yeah, if you're not sacrificing anything,
right?
And by bar area, in my mind, what I'm picturing is a bar where you can stand on one side and serve your guests who are sitting on the other side,
right?
Versus what I did in my house is I had enough space against one wall to put a wet bar,
right?
And that's my bar. So there's storage, there's a counter space, there's a sink.
Do you ever do any shelving or anything on top of the counter?
That's the only thing in the basement that's unfinished. So there's nothing there, and I have 2 electrical outlets that are awaiting.
You haven't put lighting?
Lights. No.
It's been 8 years.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Well, that's kind of goes back to last week's podcast about
you're going to do it when you sell the house.
These small upgrades you should do before you sell.
Yeah.
Yes. But I would agree with this person. That's something to really consider. If you're limited on space, I would say a functional bar like that would be very low on my list.
Conversely, the benefit of having an added sink, an added refrigerator, adds a lot of functionality to your home. A lot of value and a lot of functionality.
Yeah.
If you have kids, think of kids' birthday parties. If
I
you
use
have a
mine all the
movie
time.
night, yeah, so do I.
If I'm watching a movie or playing video games, I can go get a glass of water right behind me.
Yep.
Got my little bar fridge.
Yep.
I don't use a whole lot anymore, but it's nice to have.
You still not drinking?
A little bit, but not really. Actually, I got a humidor from Father's Day. So I'd like to, if you want to indulge in a cigar and some scotch or something.
You have some cigars?
Mm-hmm.
You have some scotch?
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't have scotch, but I have Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
Which is my preference.
Yep.
Okay, next. When redecorating my bathroom, I chose penny tile for the floor for the shower. It always looks good on TV makeover shows, but really, I'm really sorry I did it. I would agree.
I would agree too.
I think we have the same tile.
Look right behind you though.
Yeah.
For the floor. I would agree for the floor.
Yeah. So I have more, it's a hexagonal tile, a hexagon tile, pennies.
Which is what I have.
Right. Very small.
They're similar. A lot of grout.
It does look great, but you're using a lot more grout, so your costs go up. The tile's more expensive.
Fuck the cost of the grout. Cleaning the fucking grout is what's the pain in the ass.
That too. Yeah, that's hard to clean. It's more expensive. The product's more expensive. The grout's more expensive. Do you know how much
grout I used on that wall? And how big is that? That's maybe 16 square feet, if that?
Not even.
And
how do you think that's 16 square feet? That's not even
4x4? No.
Oh yeah, I was thinking 8x8.
Oh my God. Yeah, good thing you leave the numbers to me.
That's right. See, we both have our place in this company.
Yeah.
I would agree though. I would say bigger tiles are better. They may not look as nice, but you could do like a penny tile in a niche where it doesn't require as much cleaning.
Right. You can do accents. But it does matter as to what color of grout you're going to choose.
Yeah.
And if I had to recommend a certain color, I would opt for almost like a in-between color. So not too light and not too dark.
More or less black with mine.
Which
it's hard to get soap scum and
dust, calcium, soap scum, all that stuff. It becomes
but you know
a
what
nuisance.
I did get?
But black grout is actually easy to fill in with a Sharpie and just cover it up.
You can't put a Sharpie on grout in a shower?
Try it.
I'm going to.
Try it. Do a spot test and take a little video.
Yeah.
And we'll have Robbie edit it into one of the podcasts.
I got to come out of the shower with dirtier feet than I went into it.
Well, you're not doing it while you're in the shower.
Actually, that's a good question. When you clean the shower, are you in the shower having a shower? Like naked?
Yeah.
Like you're basically...
No, I'm showering in my bathing suit.
I'm not trying to picture. I'm just curious because I remember this conversation on a radio show once, and I think that's how I do it. I think that's the only way to really do it properly.
If I'm doing the whole
I wonder how
bathroom,
when I had a cleaner, which we don't anymore, how did she do it?
What do you mean?
How did she clean my bath? Because I don't have a handheld rinse thing.
They use a bucket.
Okay. All right.
Jesus, you're a little slow sometimes.
It's not as easy though. It's
when
harder
I
to be
do the
as thorough.
whole bathroom, you see, I don't do the whole bathroom very often all together.
Okay.
I'll do like the shower can go, and that's my bathroom. Nobody else uses my bathroom.
Right.
So I shower twice a day. When I'm in there, or when I go in, I'll just spray the cleaning vinegar.
Right.
And I'll let it soak for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
And then I'll have the shower, and I have my little bucket and my little scrub thing right there anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just scrub down the...
You should be careful what products you're using too, depending on the type of tilers you're getting. Like slate, probably.
Or if you have a travertine.
Well, you shouldn't probably have that in your shower anyways, but unless you seal it.
You know what's great? Here's one of my best tips for people that have glass showers is clean it so it's the cleanest it's ever been, and then put an application of Rain-X on it, and it will save your life.
I don't clean my shower often, but I squeegee it every single time.
Yeah, I'm not clean. A squeegeer, but now with Rain-X, that solved my problem.
It sounds like a commercial. The one thing I got that's helpful is the attachments for my drill, the brush attachments.
Oh, yes.
That's really handy.
Be very careful on using those on your grout, because if the bristles of those attachments are too hard, you will actually take grout out of the tile seams or whatever.
The area that grout is in.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, next one. We had an 8-foot sliding patio door in the family room. It was too big, and we decided to decrease it to 6 feet. We happened to see a set of 6-foot French doors on sale and jumped at the opportunity, and we regret reducing the size of the door. I think anytime you can make windows or doors bigger is a good idea.
Yes.
You never want to go smaller.
I'm surprised they don't regret the French doors versus the sliding door.
They do.
Oh, the actual opening part of it.
She doesn't say that in here
just
necessarily, but just talks about the size. But the only time I can see, like, we have double doors on our front door now. I could see us going to a single door, but an oversized door. Mm-hmm. That would be okay. But otherwise, I don't think you should ever go smaller.
Yeah, bigger is better with windows and doors for sure.
Absolutely. Number 5, a large single basin farmhouse-style sink. Never again.
Oh, back to the sink debate. We talked about this last week. They don't give an explanation, though.
So there's a couple of things with the farmhouse sinks.
Farmhouse is a little different.
So one is, and this is just from research.
I love farmhouse sinks.
I do too. But one thing that you get a common issue with these is if you get water on the outside of the farmhouse sink, it drips down and gets on your cabinet doors very easily.
Yes.
So you'll see a lot of people now where they put a strip of your countertop material under the sink to catch that before it gets to the door. But without that, your doors will wear prematurely. But otherwise, I love them.
Yeah.
I don't know what this person talking about.
You know what you can do now too, depends on the, I guess, the finish and the color of your cabinetry.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are protecting certain areas with things that you would protect your car with.
Yeah.
So whether it's like the 3M tape or there's actual applications that you can seal, I guess, the paint.
Yeah.
On
well, and some people are doing vinyl wrapped kitchen for renovating instead of painting.
Have you seen, I don't know if you've seen this on TikTok or Insta, but people wrapping their fridges?
Oh, I don't know if I've seen that, but I know about it.
I think it's a great idea.
It is. I think it's excellent. Okay.
We should have done that here. Got a white fridge and had it wrapped.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Next one is, this isn't something they did, but something they absolutely don't want on their list as they are out actively house hunting. And that is a kitchen island with a stove top.
Oh, that drives me nuts.
I think it's a horrible idea. Like you're gonna burn all your friends with splashing oil. Well,
and then you have the range hood,
or you don't have any.
That's right on. Well, what are you gonna do? Have a downdraft one then?
I don't know how functional those are. I don't think code requires one.
Well, they've got the ones where it can pop up.
Yeah, but they pop up like 4 inches.
No, you have ones that like really pop up.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. You have to show me.
Why?
Because I don't believe you.
Okay.
Next one. There was a point about 10 years ago where chandeliers over the bed were in, and this person regrets ever having one. I think chandeliers over beds are fine as long as you've got it at the right height so you're not bonking your head on it. No comment?
No, I'm looking up the downdraft venting.
You're going to be disappointed.
No, I've seen them. I'll look for it later.
Okay, next one is
chandeliers. Does anybody really?
Well, I don't know if they mean by
my bedroom's not big enough for a chandelier.
No, but there's houses now where 10-foot ceilings on the second floor is common.
Yeah,
so sure, why not? It was just the same as putting one over
10-foot ceiling. I don't know.
I think it's fine. As long as it's the right height. Like everything has an appropriate height where it starts to look funny if you're too low or too high, just like having one over the dining room table.
Right.
The next one is we put in black Corian countertops. I can attest to this. Black counters in the kitchen. I had black counter in my first house, and it was just I think it was granite. Could have been quartz. I don't remember. But it was hard to...
It was granite.
I think so, yeah. It was hard to get clean. Hard to get rid of fingerprints. Like you had to really clean it.
Yeah.
And I would never do black again.
Well, people say don't do white.
Why? Stains?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. You can seal them. It's less of a problem. But it does happen. I've had some stains that are...
Well, that's the problem. People don't seal them. And they don't continue to seal them.
Yeah.
Because just because you seal it once doesn't mean that that's a lifetime application.
Yeah, I agree.
Red wine, just if you leave something,
or kids markers, paint,
something's
whatever,
dirty, and you leave a dirty dish.
Turmeric,
oil, turmeric is brutal.
It is,
and I love turmeric.
Next one, put a vessel sink in. They say water gets everywhere. I don't know why water would get everywhere with a vessel sink. I don't know.
What's a vessel sink?
Sits on top of the counter.
Oh, like right. That. Yes.
They're shallower typically.
Yeah, I don't like them. It's harder to clean. I like a sink where it's recessed and you can just...
I think like in a powder room, it can look really nice though. May not, sometimes fashion over function. I think...
Yeah, we have a vessel sink in our main bath.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the bathroom that gets used the least.
Right.
But it's still... Yeah, it looks nice. It can look nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's just harder to clean and then splashing depending on the depth of it and whatnot.
Next one is an open floor plan, which is funny because a lot of people now, they start to have the preference of having some
degree of separation.
Some degree of separation where they want the privacy of a separate dining room.
Yeah. And certain cultures want a different room for like the men and the women.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of coming around again, or has been for a while, actually. It's not new. So I think that is a mistake. So if someone's building a custom home, unless you're planning on dying in it, or you just don't care about the resale,
nice way of putting it,
the resale value of it so much, I would take these things into consideration. I'm skipping some of these because they're a bit silly, but there's so many of them.
Are there any that you regret in your home?
Things that I did?
Yeah.
No.
Color choices.
Well, I talk about my backsplash. I don't regret it. I mean,
you probably didn't regret your backsplash in the first few years.
No, not at all. I still don't mind it. It's just I certainly would never do it again.
Yeah, it's outdated.
I don't know if it was ever indated.
Indated?
Yeah, it's just the opposite of outdated.
Is it?
I don't know. In my mind, it is. We spent forever looking for a new couch, and on my must-have list was no detachable cushions. Why would you not want
detachable cushions?
Why would you not want detachable cushions? I would not want.
That's somebody that's got like the 5-year-old Cheetos still crumbing away in there.
Yeah. It had one in my childhood, and all we did was constantly reconstruct the couch. This person had a rough childhood.
Yeah, well, kids.
Along comes a salesman who sold us on this over-budget large sectional with detachable cushions. But these cushions had Velcro, and we were repeatedly reassured they would stay out. I mean, it seems weird. Aren't most couches detachable cushions? Like they just...
Well, I don't know what this person's problem is, but wouldn't you prefer to be able to clean your sofa?
Like, can you imagine how much crap is going to get in the crevices of your... I don't know. Anyways.
And yes, kids love taking apart the couch.
Yes.
They use them as forts and...
Here was a person that had a 1920s home, and they paid to restore all the beautiful old wood windows, complete with hanging weights. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Just wish we replaced them with new ones. I get it. I mean, so there's some houses. So we have a beautiful home on Pine Street for sale, and they had kept a couple of the windows, but they're decorative. So they put a solid, updated, insulated pane of glass on the outside, kept the interior swinging hinged windows for design purposes, but they're not practical if you're using them because they're not efficient. They're just gonna, let all the air, cold air out or hot air out, whatever. So I would agree that was a waste of money for them, unless you're putting a proper window in front of it to continue to use it for decorative purposes.
Any others?
Well, here's the last one. I haven't read it. We'll see what it is. This was my first house, and I didn't know what to do. So I didn't know what to do. What? I didn't know what to do to renovate an entire house. So I bought into the whole rustic farmhouse trend since it was all over Pinterest. No hate to the people who did farmhouse and love it. It just isn't my vibe, and I didn't realize that until
that's a stylistic thing. That's personal preference.
Well, and that just goes back to our conversation about getting a second opinion.
Well, it's not. So hang on. I do want to say this because we talk about getting an interior designer or somebody that is going to provide a consultation and give you an opinion and hopefully a professional opinion. Your tastes will change and probably change quicker than you anticipate, whether it's the color you paint your walls, the type of sofa, the color of your sofa, the floors, the backsplash, all of those selections. 2-3 years later, you might go to somebody else's home or see some photos or something on Instagram or Pinterest or whatever and be like, oh, that's actually what I want, or that's actually what I like. And I think the biggest mistake that people make is not making the change in their house to something that they like. So they end up living with what they actually don't like anymore. And you should live in a space that you truly enjoy. That'll make you feel better at home. So whether it's easy to paint the walls a new color. Flooring can be hit or miss, but you can cover up floors with area rugs.
Furniture,
you can offset the ugly floors with, beautiful walls. You can add things like wainscoting, or now there's a lot of different wall accessories and wall products that really can add an element of design to it. Having the right artwork is huge to designing a room. And things like sofas, while you have cushions and throws and things that you can change the look, whether it's seasonally or as your taste change. So don't be afraid to shake things up because some of these regrets were stylistic.
I like it.
Yeah.
Good chat.
All right. That's it.
I think we're good.
Good.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
As always, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Please leave us a comment and let us know, what did you regret doing around your house? We'd love to know.